reunion, rematch. Miles make memories. Use the card that helps you put more priceless in your life. Graphic.
Get closer to the action like never before with NASCAR Race Hub on FS1.
Every night, the place to be.
Hear the story from the drivers who lived it.
That's how tough the track was to drive.
And get the ultimate setup from the legends of the sport.
You can't script it. There's certain things out of your control.
NASCAR Race Hub, weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1.
There's 5 things I care about: the economy, healthcare, sports, education, and respect for Tom Brady. I'm not trying to be relatable. I'm elevatable.
You're on fire.
I may have just changed the entire world.
You're watching a Fox Sports presentation. Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in our program.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Evan here with Van and Michael J. Babcock. We told you that Dak Prescott is going back to school to get his PhD at some point. Remember, he was talking about how he wants to get his doctorate in psychology. He's very excited about it. He doesn't know exactly when he's going to do it, but at one point in the offseason or after his NFL career, he wants to become a doctor in psychology, right?
Yeah, which we all thought, me and you,
right,
thought that was a good idea. Babcock is against education.
Yeah, well, Babcock might have an ally in this whole thing, and his name is Michael Irvin. Because we got Michael Irvin on. Michael Irvin said, look, I'm happy that, education is a great thing, but I have one slight concern about Dak Prescott pursuing this degree. Take a look.
Hey, Michael, could I ask you, Dak Prescott wants to go back to school.
That's great, isn't it?
Is it in psychology?
Yes, and I would love for him to go back, get his master's in psychology, learn how to, I'm going to use the word, but not in negative connotation, manipulate and get the best out of all of those players that play with him.
So you think studying...
But don't be overdrawn with it now. Don't fool yourself. I want him to study plays first.
Yes.
Because he can get $200 million studying plays, and then he can go back and buy the college and pass out degrees.
Is that right? I'm not going to lie. He has a slight point here.
He does have a slight point.
That's exactly what I said yesterday.
It just sounds better when Michael Irvin says it. You have 0 Super Bowl rings, Babcock.
Yeah, but the other funny part is that Michael Irvin thinks if you buy the school, you can just hand out degrees. Isn't there integrity in an educational institution?
He thinks that you can buy a school for $200 million as well. Like,
no.
Michael Irvin, he's right about one thing, wrong about almost everything else, it seems like.
Yeah. All right, that is going to do it for us here at TMZ Sports. We got more great stuff for you next time, including some shocking videos and, of course, all the best stories. That's next time on TMZ Sports. We'll see you then.
I'm a lawyer.
We are down to the final 2 games of the 2017 U20 World Cup. We will kick things off from the Suwon World Cup Stadium with Uruguay taking on Italy in the 3rd place playoff. And it's a rematch from the group stages. And what a matchup that was. Rodrigo Amaral, who one of the goals of the tournament, and that was enough to decide it and give Uruguay a massive 3 points. What a performance it was on the day. We are going to take a short break. Make sure you stay with us. When we return, we'll have the lineups and first half kickoff right after this.
Watch it.
Seems like a good time for a rally beard.
Yeah.
Take a miracle to get back in this game.
Is it doing it?
Yeah.
Roberts on the steal.
Wow.
We have done our work.
You can stop now.
Yeah, I wish I could.
A rally out of nowhere, and they are back in it.
Raz, where are you?
Guys, I'm trapped. My boss wants me here.
We're not leaving without you. Just go downstairs now.
Rapunzel.
CHR.
That was fun.
Wait till you see where we're going.
Introducing an all-new crossover. Toyota CHR. Toyota, let's go places.
So you like to stay active? Or you like to act like you're staying active? And you want to know your fitness level? And so does he. And so does he. You also want to count your steps. And check your texts. And see your reps.
47. Honest.
We believe you. Beat yesterday with Vivo Smart 3 from Garmin.
They said it was impossible to have great-tasting light beer. Boom! Award-winning Heineken Light brewed with Cascade hops. They also said a hologram can't pour a beer. That's unfortunate.
The FIFA Confederations Cup, where the giants of the game battle to win the Tournament of Champions.
The road to Russia is underway.
The 2017 FIFA Confederations Cup begins June 17th on FS1.
Welcome back to the Suwon World Cup Stadium. We're getting set for third place playoff action. Uruguay taking on Italy. Remember, after this it will be the final. England taking on Venezuela. I'm your match commentator Keith Costigan, joined by Ian Joy. Ian, nobody wants to be in the third place playoff, but still a lot to play for in this match.
Well, I'm glad you said it. Yes, you want to finish third. You certainly do not want to finish fourth. It's two teams that are very strong indeed. I expect a big match today.
We'll now pause for the national anthems for both teams. rousing rendition of the Italian national anthem with several of the players singing along. A big match for the Italians. They haven't been in this competition since 2009. But Uruguay talks of some mishaps at the hotel last night involving Venezuela. Again, a story that will continue to develop. What do you see from both of these sides coming into this one?
You know, it's an interesting game, and you mentioned it. Nobody wants to play in a third-place game. They want to be in the final. I think both of these teams are disgruntled. I think they're upset. Clearly, you could see with the evidence of what happened in the hotel with Venezuela, but it is a fighting team they've gone with today.
And here is the starting lineup. No De La Cruz, who was the man who missed that penalty. He's out of the starting 11. Good news, Rodrigo Amaral, the goal scorer in the first matchup, takes his place in the starting lineup.
You would expect changes, and there is 4 changes to that Uruguay lineup that actually lost against Venezuela on penalty kicks. And it's interesting to see they've gone with a very strong starting lineup up top. It's an attacking lineup that wants to score goals. Clearly, Uruguay, they want to win that third-place title. They don't want to finish 4th place. They had a great tournament. Unfortunately, they went out on penalty kicks, which is the worst way to go out in the tournament. But regardless, it's a strong starting 11 today.
Video system refereeing hopefully won't need it to be called upon today, but Felix Weyer, a Bundesliga official, one of those that will be working on the video side of things to help the referees, assist them in making those big decisions. On the other side, it's a strong lineup for Italy, who still have the tournament's top goal scorer.
Yeah, listen, this Italian side is a very exciting team to watch, but I still think they underachieved in this tournament. It's a team that could be scoring a lot more goals than they have done. They've made 5 changes to the lineup and given some squad players an opportunity to play after their defeat against England, and that's not surprising to me. Mandragora is the captain of this lineup. He's a man who leads the team from that central midfield position. Favili keeps his position up top. I expect Italy to try and get a couple of goals today and really go for it.
Fabian Cointo, the 50-year-old former defender, he's been with the youth national team at Uruguay since 2007. Alberico Ivani wasn't a bad player himself in his time at Milan. And what a job he's done with this Italian side in their first U20 World Cup since 2009.
Yeah, I think respect to both nations for what they've achieved in this tournament. It's been quite simply unbelievable to go all the way and make it to the final, and these two teams unfortunately just missing out.
We see on the bench Matteo Vitale, Luca Vido, a couple of big names for Italy. On the other side, Nicolas De La Cruz, but Chapacase unavailable today, as is Facundo Vala. Chapacase in particular a big blow because he has been leading the line so very well in this competition. There's your top scorer, Riccardo Orsolini, a new Juve signing. Want to find 11 in his hands to get into that star-studded lineup. The match referee Cesar Ramos from Mexico blows to start this game off. And immediately it's the Italians trying to come forward on this left-hand side. Nico tries to get his cross in. It's well blocked. Jose Luis Rodriguez, the fullback, coming across.
Terrible start for Uruguay. They had possession of the ball from the kickoff, immediately giving away the ball to the Italian side to look up for this game.
Giuseppe Pezzella coming straight back into the lineup. Federico De Marco, very attack-minded fullback, but wasn't at his best defensively against England, so no real surprise to see him drop to the bench. And it's Uruguay trying to counter on the Italians, something the English did very well in the semi-final. Arraiz, and they'll win Uruguay to throw in on this near side. Joaquin Arraiz, 18-year-old who plays his club football with Danubio. Jose Luis Rodriguez, the fullback, who's been an ever-present inside for Bentancur. Playing against some of his future teammates. He's just signed for Juventus as well from Boca Juniors. Juventus, one of the best represented teams over the Final Four that we've seen.
Juventus, one of the best represented sides in the world's game as far as picking up young talent, loaning the players out, selling them on, giving opportunity in the first team. Terrific project they've got going on at Juventus in Turin.
Max Allegri just signing a new contract there as well as the head coach, so their future looks bright. And several of these young players about to break in. Valverde. Confirmation Uruguay have finished runners-up twice in this competition, 1997 and in 2013. A couple of years ago they were knocked out at the round of 16 stage, so definite improvement. For the Italians, the very first time they've been in this competition since 2009. They've only been involved in 6 of the 21 tournaments, so never seemed to be that much of a priority.
It's different in Europe, Keith. As you well and truly know, the under-21 level is where all the focus is for a lot of the UEFA teams. For South American teams, it seems to be that under-20 age group that is the big difference maker. Poor giveaway.
Tunagoy trying to break forward, ball played out wide. Real chance to go towards that near post, and well, Pizarro, who's come into the side, was scrambling, and it was a decent angle to go for goal for Cannobio.
It's a nice run forward. Good opportunity again. Cannobio should be doing a lot better from this angle, Keith. He's got his eyes down on the ball, head over the top, but just doesn't know where the goal is. He's disappointed with himself and the effort in the end. A great breakaway. Italy caught with a ball at their feet. Both teams really just losing that concentration. To be expected. There's the disappointment for all to see. It's hard to keep your focus when you're playing in a third place matchup.
Talked about the changes. Alessandro Pizarro in goal for the Italians. His very first appearance in this year's competition. Uruguay again looking to break. Straight down the middle of midfield for Federico Valverde. Been with Real Madrid. In a number of games for the reserve team. Santiago Solari, the former Madrid player, saying he's very good in possession. Casata.
Nice.
Lovely switch from Casata. Giuseppe Panico. Patella making the overlapping run. Panico crawls towards that far post, and we've seen Orsolini make that run a number of times in the competition. This time the service just a little bit over his head.
I think when you look at Orsolini's run, he made it slightly too early. You know, he should have hung out there a little bit wider and waited for his opportunity to attack the ball. If you go too early, that can happen. The ball's overhit, it's in the top of your head. There's nothing you could do about it. Orsolini just making that run a little too early than he should have done.
Jose Luis Rodriguez comes back in for Matias Aviña. Rodriguez trying to play that ball forward on that side for Cannobio. Started off on this right-hand side. He has played central at times in this competition. Italians have possession back with Mandragora, the Juve midfielder. Trying to switch the play out for Giuseppe Patella, but it was a good challenge in midfield.
It's a poor giveaway from Mandragora, but he has been one of my favourite players to watch throughout this tournament. There's been so many of them, Keith. I can't remember a tournament at the under-20 level. I've played in a couple myself that have actually produced so many talented big-name players that are getting their opportunity at some of the highest level clubs around Europe and in the world. And this tournament has really shone a big light on to how terrifically talented the younger generation is. All they need to do now is just to make their steps into the professional game in the right way, at the right club, at the right time. Tournaments like this is perfect. A lot of these kids are getting some great experience playing in this tournament.
We were just looking at some of the names who finished as the top goal scorer. The likes of Messi, the likes of Sergio Aguero, so there's no doubting that Riccardo Orsolini wants to join that list. To get another couple of goals perhaps and distance himself from the likes of Solanke and Cordova ahead of their final appearance later on today.
Well, I think it's fair to say, as we look at the challenge going in right there, really not frightened to put his foot in where it hurts. It's fair to say that the two best teams in the tournament actually made it to the final. I think Uruguay weren't too far away from making it, could have done so. Losing on penalty kicks is never an easy way to go out of the tournament.
Uruguay trying to high press on that side with Rodrigo Amaral, bit of retribution as well for the earlier challenge.
Certainly Colna just a little too slow in possession of the ball. He's got to move the ball a little quicker. That will happen with the players around him. As I mentioned before, these players are disappointed, but they still want to leave an impact on this tournament. By finishing third, it's a great achievement for both of these nations.
Giuseppe Patella trying to play that ball into the channel, and the applause from Mandragora. He liked the idea. The execution just wasn't up to scratch.
He's had a nice start to the game. I do give him a lot of credit. Nice run forward. The Italians look up for this match up there. A little disappointed after what happened against England. I don't think they put out their best performance throughout the full 90 minutes, especially if you look at the whole course of this tournament.
It really was a game of two halves as well, wasn't it? They played well in that first 45, but simply blown away in the second half.
They looked tired, and I think that was their biggest problem. They had gone 120 minutes the round before.
We come forward here again. Panico, very good run. You could hear him telling Petzela exactly when to play. It tries to come inside. He goes down. And the referee says play on. Matthias Vigna was the man with the challenge. No free kick given.
Nice run forward though. Panico not frightened to get forward.
Nicola again, just having a little bit of difficulty holding on to possession. Manages to keep it in play. Ball back across towards the near post. Not the most convincing of clearance, and Giuseppe Panico will have it again. Petzela towards Orsolini. That was better defending. Matthias Oliveira with the header. Ball played in behind, looking for Ardaez, who looks almost like he's playing as a lone frontman right now for Uruguay.
It's a tough job to ask Ardaez as that lone striker up front, but Uruguay actually playing some nice stuff when they get the ball and move forward. That's a nice touch right there. I was really impressed so far, Petzela.
And it was that big area that they really missed the left back in the last game with Ojo when he came on for England, having such a good performance.
Yeah, there really was that big hole. I don't think DeMarco defensively was just tuned in. Offensively, he was pretty good getting forward. But he was a big disappointment, the weakest link on that back line, and England exploited that.
A reminder, these sides are meeting in the very first group stage matchup. And a stunning Rodrigo Amaral free kick was enough to give Uruguay to 3 points. The goal's been a bit of an issue for Uruguay throughout the competition. Nicolas Cruz, the only man with more, De La Cruz, the only man with more than one goal. He's not in the starting lineup today. Both of his goals were penalties. Ball played in behind for Jose Luis Rodriguez. And he'll be out of play for the throw-in for Italy.
Very quick surface. You know, both teams are trying to play the right way, get the ball down. And once it comes to that final third, they're finding it very difficult to go through the middle, and you are seeing some direct passes over the top. And with that wet surface, we've watched it getting watered ahead of kick-off. The ball is really slipping off the surface out of play quickly.
Messina goes back for... We've got Romagna, who's very comfortable playing that ball into midfield. Messina. Giuseppe Petzela. Already playing for Palermo's first team in Serie A play. Romagna driving forward, looking for options, and finds one. Petzela has it again. Nice for that early cross as Giuseppe Panico had just gone inside, and now Uruguay looking to break. Ardaez goes back for Canobio. Federico Valverde. Amaral. Good challenge in midfield. Amaral saw the gap on that left-hand side, but very good defending from Pessina. Valverde. Rodriguez. Back to Federico Valverde. Then you get a glimpse of that passing range that enticed Real Madrid to go out and secure his signature.
They're playing some nice stuff. Uruguay, when they have possession of the ball, they come out the back. I mentioned before, they're playing the right way. They want to get the ball down and move it around, but their switch of play has been superb so far. Often at times you will find the ball go out of play when you're playing that direct switch. Uruguay actually getting into this game as it goes on.
Valverde heavily involved in the middle of midfield. Nice little flick pass to his partner Rodrigo Bentancur. Tries to thread a ball through. Canobio had made that outside in run. Uruguay going to have a corner kick.
Well, Plizzari just hesitated for a split second. Came out to try and claim the ball, and as soon as he allowed the ball to bounce, the spin took it over the line, out for a corner kick.
To go across, the option of the short one. There is Alessandro Plizzari, Milan youth product. In towards the near post, very well defended by Andrea Favilli. He's a big, powerful striker, but also does his defensive work on set pieces.
Beautiful left foot, Amaral. As we witnessed in the first matchup between these two teams. I don't think he could have hit that free kick any better. You can see on the set plays, he's already the man instructed to take every single corner kick, every single free kick. You can see why. He's got a wonderful left foot.
I don't know, our production team have been working on a best goals compilation from the competition, and I'm pretty sure that goal will feature prominently. Playing 75 minutes in the competition coming into this match though. Panico, he's got runners further forward. Favilli, Orsolini just going beyond him. Favilli back in. Petzela. Better angle for him to cross, and again he struggles to beat that first defender. Bentancur came across and just read the angles very well.
Uruguay playing a risky game in their defensive backline. Just a little mix of miscommunication. Italy are only one good cross away from getting an opportunity on goal.
Petzela again creates the angle, and again his final ball lacking over the head of Orsolini. Cross comes through and Jose Luis Rodriguez clears the danger. The Italians maintain possession. Petzela, a little nutmeg. Well, it looked pretty, but he didn't get possession on the other side. Cannobio.
Nice. Lovely feet from Cannobio. He looks a tidy little player, picking up possession. Another skip past his opponent. This is better from Uruguay.
And Valverde and Bentancur, they have two young midfielders who next season will be at Real Madrid and Juventus. So not a bad axis to build upon.
Well, it's amazing really, Keith, when you look at these kids getting an opportunity. You know, now a lot of the top teams in Europe are not frightened to go down to South America and spend money, entice these kids to come up and play and learn the European way or the Juventus, Real Madrid way in their respective players. I think it's great that these kids get an opportunity to do that, but every single kid needs to play. If you go to big clubs like that, you have to be able to produce, and if you're not playing, you need to find a place to go play.
Lovely interchanging football, and ends with a long-range hit from midfield from the Real Madrid man Federico Valverde. Fabian Conte will be very happy with that approach play.
Well, he's got it, Valverde, hasn't he? Great vision, great communication, lovely 1 and 2 touch soccer from Uruguay. You know, he struck the ball from 30 yards there. I think he would have probably made another decision had he got that back. Great ability.
I believe the Santiago Solari comment was, play comes alive when he has possession. Quite a compliment for a young player. Santiago Solari wasn't a bad player himself.
He was. Spent a bit of time with Solari, and he's the type of guy that, you know, when he talks about youth talent, he's seen it. He's got a great vision for talent. He's played with many talented players, obviously at the highest level in his own professional career. But down in South America, Keith, you know truly, doing some scouting around for US soccer, there's so many talented players down there. And to be able to choose the best squad of players to go and compete at a World Cup is not an easy task to do, because there's a lot of talented players who are not even in this squad. I think the players from both of these nations have represented their countries very well indeed.
Bentancur was looking for a short instead. Rodrigo Amaral has it. Again, looking to get it on his left foot. Now it's a right-footed ball forward. On a stronger foot, and it showed on the delivery.
Italy are a frustrating side. You've got so many talented players. You can clearly see individually it's a very talented group of players. But as far as creation goes, it's more of a hopeful Italian side trying to score goals. Rather than knowing exactly how they're going to break down this Uruguay side, they eventually lead to just putting hopeful crosses into the box, playing direct to Favilli, hoping that he can hold up possession and invite midfield forward. The only real playmaker, creator, goal scorer that can make magic happen in this Italian side on a consistent basis is this man right here, Orsolini.
5 goals on the competition. Means that will back the ball forward onto the far wing, and Giuseppe Panico, the goal was gaping and he managed to hit it straight at the goalkeeper. It'll go down as a save for Melli, but that's a real miss from the Italian winger.
It is a miss. We've got to give credit to Melli because he does make a big time save. However, with an opportunity like that, You have to put it in the back of the net. Panico will want that one back. Great cross.
First time we've really seen Jose Luis Rodriguez caught out of position at right back, and Panico elected to try place it. And as you said, Mele just got back across and makes the save. Mele comes out, doesn't get a strong hand to it. And there'll be a free kick right on the edge of the box for Uruguay. But the best chance of the match so far, and it's fallen to the Italians.
Yeah, big time. It's a wonderful cross into the box. And Uruguay just switching off for that split second at the back post. Panico ghosting in. I think it's more of that cautious approach to the strike rather than just knowing exactly what he wanted to do. He was trying to play it safe and side foot it into the back of the net.
Bentancur put on a little bit of pressure from Riccardo Orsolini. Those two will be teammates next year at Juventus. Always interesting when young players, different countries, different cultures, will be brought together in the cosmopolitan mix of Juve. Valverde. Is that going to be a free kick? Referee says no. Amaral felt there was a lot of contact on his back, almost stopped playing, expecting the whistle. The referee was well positioned.
Nice from Italy. Nice possession out of their back line.
Pizzella linking with Panico. Pizzella coming inside again. Contact, the referee allowing play to continue. Looked like he was about to call the free kick for Uruguay. Amaral. The greatest ball back from Amaral, and Matias Oliveira had to make the challenge. Leonardo Sernacola playing. Giuseppe Scaletta was the right back against England in the semi-final. Pizzella. Romagna. Orsolini tries to take it first time on his very cultured left foot. It's gone through for Panico. Flick the ball beyond the defender for Favilli. Comes inside, but that's good 1v1 defending. Nobio again back in defensively. Nobio again with a strong challenge. Nice feed as well.
Beautiful feet. Very impressive when he's got the ball at his feet, Canobio. He's not frightened of those little tight spaces. Always seems to find a way out. It's a real battle in that midfield area. There has been a few chances in the game. There was a big opportunity a moment ago for Panico, probably the best opportunity in the game so far, but it has been more scrappy in midfield where it's been a real battle, both teams trying to get a grip of the game.
When it's just a few days from missing out on a potential World Cup final appearance, have the players fully put that behind them, or is it still playing in the back of their mind that the final's coming up next, particularly as it's on the same field in a couple of hours?
You know, I can remember back in '98, long time ago, Keith Costigan played in Moscow at the Youth Olympics, and we went out of the group stage and we had to play a friendly game after that. Every single player had absolutely tuned up. I couldn't even imagine what it's like when you're one game away from the final of a World Cup in the under-20 level.
Cross comes in, Valverde made the run forward, lovely flick, and the referee's whistle has gone, but once again we're seeing the real quality of Federico Valverde in the middle of midfield for Uruguay. Alvarez trying to get that final touch on it.
Well, it's a good battle. Not quite sure what the referee blew for there. Ardaiz has every intention to go for that ball, and I think he has every right to go for it as well. The referee blowing his whistle very quickly. Great skill again from Uruguay. When they get their game going, they're one of the most exciting teams to watch.
Such a small country that continues to produce so many talented players. The likes of Forlan, Cavani, Luis Suarez.
I mean, it's incredible. You look at some of the youngsters that are coming through in their ranks. They've always produced Uruguay. They've always been competitive at under 18, even under 17 level, all the way through to the Olympic team. They're there or thereabouts, and the first team is not too far away either.
Amaral tries for one of those powerful runs forward, but Leonardo Sernacola comes across and defends well. Favilli.
He's a nice player, Favilli. Good at holding up possession of the ball. He always seems to make the right pass into midfield.
Mandragora, another player who's impressed. Patella, Panico, not quite how he scripted it, almost fell in behind, and well, it works out well for the Italians in the end because they won a corner kick.
Yeah, Rogel misjudged the bounce here as that last defender, Panico, almost getting in behind. It's a nice ball forward. Patella using his left foot. Italy looking dangerous going forward.
Giuseppe Panico on the set piece. Good delivery centrally, and it was a strong defensive header away. Two Italian players ready to pounce. Very good ball in from Giuseppe Panico. Santiago Mele, one of several players who plays with Phoenix. He's already made a handful of appearances with the first team as well at just age 19.
It's always a difficult age.
Particularly for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, 19, 20 is very young for a goalkeeper, but now today's generation is getting younger, Keith. You know, kids are getting an opportunity to play in the first team at a lot younger age. The game's a lot quicker than it's ever been before. And realistically, when you look at the player in its prime right now, it's no longer the 29, 30-year-old player. It's the 24, the 25, the 26-year-old that you're seeing in his prime that the big money is being spent on. And the teams are seeming to lean towards that younger generation rather than the older, experienced player now. And you can see why. The tempo, the energy. It's a game for an athlete. It's no longer a game for the player who doesn't look after his body. It really is a physics game.
I actually had a conversation a couple of days ago with a scout for players, looking for players, and he said the U17 World Cup is now the most scouted competition. They feel at U20 there's not as many top-class players, so 20 years of age and some already been written off. Quite amazing.
One of the reasons why is because it's a vital learning curve. When you look at a lot of these players that you just mentioned getting an opportunity at big academies at 19 and 20, that's maybe a year or two too late in your development. At that stage, you might have missed out in the best years.
Ball played forward looking for Ardeitz. Marchiza, centre-back who's come in today to play alongside Romagna. Marchiza making his fourth appearance in the competition. No real surprise to see the Italians making those changes, particularly defensively. Had some real battles in the knockout stages. They got some revenge on France for a European Championship final defeat. Then one of the games of the tournament. 3-2 over Zambia after extra time. Amaral from distance, well blocked. He pulled the trigger. Romagna just threw himself at his feet. They know what he can do from distance. Now the break is on for the Italians. Really centrally, Orsolini still on it. Orsolini showing his skill. The fans enjoyed it.
I think that's what Italy have got to do more. Try to enjoy themselves. They look a little tense in this third place matchup. Orsolini needs to get involved in the game slightly more than he has been. Wonderful individual brilliance. I mean, the kid's got it. An exciting player to watch.
Romagna. This is what we've seen the Italians struggle with in that semi-final, just maintaining possession. Mandragora looking for it, instead it goes back for Marchiza. Giuseppe Patella. Panico trying to turn. It was good defending again from Jose Luis Rodriguez, who's been an ever-present, very steady right back.
It's always very difficult to keep the tempo and the energy high when you're coming into a third place matchup because everything's been spent within the tournament. There are some changes with players still looking to impress. Speaking of impressive, wasn't far away from Orsolini. Tried the spectacular there.
10 for effort. A little less for the execution.
It's probably one of the most difficult crosses you could have tried that technique on.
You have to be a certain kind of player to have the confidence to try and get on the end of it. He's that kind of player. Here we see the challenge from Agustin Rogel on Rolando Mandragora. Well, a reminder, the Confederations Cup begins on June 17th. We'll have all of the action on Fox Sports. A tournament you're not going to want to miss. It's essentially a dress rehearsal for the World Cup next year. It kicks off at 1 p.m. Eastern Saturday on FS1 of Russia taking on New Zealand. Russia the hosts. It'll be interesting to see how their squad can handle themselves as they move forward. The pressures of being the host of a big tournament.
It's already interesting to see the squad selection from the nations who are actually going to that tournament. You know, which nations take that tournament
Germany
seriously.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of younger players getting their opportunity. A lot of the big experienced players not even in the squad.
You get the sense from Germany that giving their senior players the summer off in anticipation of a long summer next year.
Well, it's the smartest move to make, because you think of the campaign some of the German players in particular, that nation, have had this year. It's been a long European season.
Cross in from that far side, and it was a good run forward from Senecola, and well defended by Uruguay.
How many times have we watched the third place matchup when the tempo's just not been there, the quality's just not been there, the willingness to actually go ahead and win the game hasn't really been there because of disappointment out of losing out in the final. These two teams are really going for it.
Petzela with the cross. Orsolini trying to come inside, trying to get it on his left foot. Petzela, Messina, Casata, another Juve midfielder. That's a strong challenge and an easy decision for the referee.
Well, I think he tried to pull out of this challenge here, Vieira. Eventually invested into it.
He only played 46 minutes in the competition before today, Santiago Vieira. And as I mentioned, Nicolas de la Cruz not in the lineup today.
It is nice to see some of the squad players getting an opportunity to play. Because even though they've missed out on the final, a lot of those bench players have played a big role in helping their nations get to the semi-final stage.
Sernacola. Fullback trying to create a yard of space to get his cross in. Does very well. Mele gets a hand to it. No free kick given. The referee again well placed. Might have been some contact on the goalkeeper. Now Mandragora gets it to Panico, and strong challenge defensively. Mandragora wants a corner kick. And the referee looks like he's giving the goal kick.
Well, I think he's looking for something more here at Mandragora. Great skill, how about that? Mele does well. As a goalkeeper, he's gone backwards, and to push the ball away from danger, he does a fine job. Mandragora still talking with that referee. I just wondered if they were claiming a handball right there.
Mandragora, former Genoa man, brought across to Juve, actually made his debut against his former club. Uruguay looking to play it forward, and it really looked like they're missing Chapacase up front. Striker not in the lineup today, not available. Just going back to the reports of some issues with the Uruguayan players and Venezuela at the hotel. The police had to be called. Can something like that affect the mood of the camp and the focus going into a game like this?
You know, I think for these Uruguayan players, it probably doesn't mean too much. You know, they're playing for the third place playoff, but how much will it affect Venezuela going into the final matchup? They're playing in a World Cup final. Their concentration should solely be on that match. And to go through a situation like that where the police have to be called at the team hotel is never good preparation. Where's the mental state of those players going into a final matchup? I think Uruguay, and probably even the coach, has made some changes because of the incident that took place. De la Cruz, for example, sounded like he was involved in the situation. He's not even in the squad today. The starting 11, good turn.
Amaral back in the side, tries to get it on his left foot, falls to the edge of the box. It's sat up nicely, but Bentancur just couldn't get his shot on target.
He's leaning back, Bentancur. I think he's slightly surprised that the ball actually bounces out to him. How good is Amaral? Every time he's trying to get it on that left foot, looking for the target.
Uruguay leading in shots so far, but a relatively even game in terms of the possession from either side. Incidentally, going back to that incident, the rumours are Adalberto Peñaranda was the instigator of the troubles. One of the star players of the competition, the forward for Venezuela. Already at Malaga in La Liga.
For me, the biggest problem is, why are the two teams in the same hotel? Why are they put in that situation in the first place?
Good rates, I guess. Petzela, strong challenge again. Canobio has done a lot of work defensively. Have to switch out to that side where we've seen De La Cruz do so much damage. A reminder, we will have the final for you later. Should be a very entertaining match. It's a strong challenge from Andrea Favilli.
It should be a yellow card. Look at his right arm and his left arm, right over the top of the face and the neck, pulling the player back. It should be a yellow card right there for Favilli.
We always talk about the flair players for the Italian sides, but he's as physical as they come.
He's a big boy. He's not frightened to mix it up. Almost at times, when you look at his frame and the way he moves around on the field, it reminds me a little bit of Luca Toni in that style, that mannerism that he has. He's not a bad player at all. He's very good when he's holding up possession and fighting the midfield, but also he's got good determination, as you clearly seen right there. Didn't give up on it.
Amaral, a little bit too far out to go for goal, but an inviting delivery. It almost fell for the centre-back. And the whistle goes. The flag was up. It was Augustin Rogel looking to get on the end of it. Lovely ball in from Amaral.
He's got a beautiful left foot. Doesn't matter what distance he's at. Always trying to put the ball in the danger zone, make something happen.
A bit of skill from Marquez at the centre-back. Just wrong footing the forward as he plays out of the back for the Italians. Pessina, Romagna, Marquizza, Petzela, Alberico Avani, the coach up, talking to his team. Enjoyed that ball. Orsolini. Seen very little of the tournament top scorer so far. Good switch from Casanta, looking for Giuseppe Panico, and almost was taking the step forward before he controlled the ball and went underneath his foot. The Italians will still have it.
Nice switch of play. Almost a nice touch from Panico. Just took his eye off the ball for a split second. Good battle there he has going on with Rodriguez.
Mandragora back for Petzela, trying to get his cross in. Santiago Vieira back in, and looks like it went straight out of play, and the referee again points for the goal kick, and Vieira gets the handshake from one of his teammates.
Even though it didn't work out for Petzela right there, he got forward very well indeed for Italy. He's had a very positive start to the match. Petzela getting forward frequently, nice left foot, good passing, good range of movement with the ball. Not a bad side, Italy. They're only one or two good players away in that final third from being a really good side.
Rodriguez, well, the rebound fell kindly for him, and Adelaide came back, went down. He felt there was a lot of contact. Casanta, the guilty party, and it'll be a free kick in another good position for Rodrigo Amaral, perhaps to get service into the box.
No, Ardaiz hasn't had much to do up top. It's a nice free kick right there. He's a busy player. You can see his good frame he's got. Very strong player with the ball at his feet. Clearly fouled, and it gives another opportunity for Amaral with his left foot to bring it out.
Santiago Vieira goes across as well, but I think he'd be hard pressed to talk Amaral off this one. He's telling the players where he wants the runs. Vieira, as we expected, a decoy. Amaral, after building him up, has one of his worst deliveries of the World Cup. Vieira will now have a chance. Good skill from Vieira, just wrong foot. Mandragora still gets his cross in. Looked like there might have been a foul, and I think that's going to be called back. How he managed to get the cross in under so much pressure from Giuseppe Panico. Cesar Ramos over it, he's given the free kick.
This is a great decision from the referee. It's a wonderful run. The cross was very good. However, there's so much pressure right here. He can't really put his full concentration on the cross because of the pressure coming in from Panico. That is absolutely brilliant. Vieira's impressed me as well in the opening stages of this game. He's won another free kick, and this time probably a better position for the left foot.
And you see why it is so important. 4 of the 7 goals for Uruguay in this competition have come from set pieces. Not a bad man to have on the ball. He goes towards the near post, and Rizzani very happy with the defending of Favilli once again in that near post area. Looked like Amaral was perhaps going for goal. Canobio comes across. It will be Amaral again with the left-footed delivery, this time from the corner kick. Amaral towards the far post, and it was a curling effort. Platani was moving a little bit at first, but it went out of play pretty early, and it'll be a goal kick for the Italians.
Well, that's a bad corner kick from Amaral. The last 2 have not been good enough from him. You can see at times maybe a little overzealous, trying the spectacular. You can't blame him. When you have a left foot like that, you always want to try something special. Or free kicks, corner kicks, anywhere. Doesn't matter. He's got a beautiful left foot, but at times he just has to keep his composure.
A reminder, the final 5:50 a.m. Eastern on FS1, Venezuela against England. Wherever you are, this one is worth getting up for. Going to be a cracking final. Cordova, Solanke and co going head to head. I don't think there's any doubt they've been the 2 best teams as well to get to that stage.
Yeah, I think they've been the most surprising teams as well, Keith. Nobody expected those 2 teams to make it to the final. With the squad of players, the talent, the level is right at the top.
Morcellini.
Nice.
Strong defending from Matias Oliveira to force him back.
This is where it needs to happen for Italy. Right there. When they've got the ball and they're looking at 8 defenders behind the ball, the magic has to happen from somewhere. I don't think there's enough belief in that Italian side that they can actually go ahead and win games easily.
Roll back with Rodrigo Bentancur. Out onto that right-hand side. Cool effort towards goal. Latoni gets down. It looked like a routine save for the goalkeeper, but he spilled it. Luckily for him, nobody was following up.
Yeah, and surprisingly, no one was following up. Platari does spill this one. It should be a simple, routine catch. And for Uruguay, nobody gambled.
Sina. Marchizza. Leonardo Sernacola. Matteo Pessina. Pizzella. The spell of possession for the Italians without really looking threatening, and once again Favilli unable to hold possession up, but the Italians win it back quickly. Strong challenge this time. It's the big defender Augustin Rogel who comes out, points to himself as if to ask, was that on me? The referee says it was. Favilli again, the man who's fouled.
Here's the earlier challenge. Battles are going in. You know, both of these nations want to finish in that 3rd spot. There's no doubt about it. You can clearly see it's been a tense affair. The energy's been there. The quality slightly lacking.
Just as you say it, Vieira gives possession away and compounds the issue with a very rash challenge. Could have been an advantage played as well for Panico. Vieira might have injured himself on the play as well. Sernacola's the man who's down on the ground for the Italians. The referee's going to allow attention to come on, but you can see he's already got the yellow card in his hand.
I think this is the smartest decision for the referee to make. Look at the challenge right there. Vieira goes hammering in. I really don't think that there's much that Sernicola can do to get out of the way of that challenge. But I think when both players go down, injured like that so quickly and stay down, the referee really doesn't have any other option but to stop the game. Probably the smartest decision to make. There's not much to play for. This is a third place match. If it had been the final and there was a great advantage to be played, he has to do so, but smart decision from the ref.
Senekolo, one of those players brought in today. You saw the thumbs up from the trainer towards the bench as if to say he's going to be okay, but that was late. That was reckless. Well, he's going to get the yellow card as well as injuring himself on the play too.
He took a smack in the head. Vieira going into the challenge.
Gingerly to his feet, and I can hear what he said, but it seemed to be along the lines of, what's that for?
You can't remember.
Didn't need video assistant refereeing for that one.
It was an aggressive challenge. He knew exactly what he was doing going into the challenge like that. The studs were up. It was dangerous play. It's a clear yellow card, and it's an opportunity for Italy ahead of half-time on a set play.
Filippo Romagna and Marchizza both have gone forward for this one. Orsolini all the way out on that far post. Francisco Quesada, the Juve man. Lovely delivery in that gap, and it was good defending on that far post. Matthias Oliveira just touching it back to Mele. An inviting free kick. Mandragora has it back for the Italians. Romagna, unaccustomed central midfield role for the centre-back.
Look how quickly Uruguay get their bodies back behind the ball. Very good, technically well organised, difficult to break down. Very compact back four. It's very tough to break that down. Italy are having problems right now.
You want to see that delivery again from Casata in behind the first defender.
Yeah, it was a nice delivery. And at the back post, Romagna had made a very good run. Just couldn't get in front of that last defender.
Oliveira falling to the ground does very well to put the contact exactly where the goalkeeper wanted it.
You know, when it bounces like that at the back post, it's very difficult to deal with that situation. You're always better as a defender to just put the ball out of play or just completely take control of the situation. Never run the risk of having that player get in front of you. It's a very dangerous ball.
Bentancur goes back for Rogel. Vigna. Amaral. Amaral driving run on Romagna. Can he keep it in play? Still has it, and now it does go out of play. A nice bit of skill, but ultimately it ends up with nothing for the Uruguayans. And as we enter the final few seconds of the first half, you told me before, and it could be 0-0, it could be 5-4.
Yeah.
So far it looks like it's going to be one of those tight affairs.
Yeah, it is a tight affair. You know, both of these nations obviously very tired throughout the tournament. A lot of changes made. The quality is slightly lacking in this matchup, but the willingness and the effort is still there. I think we should get a winner throughout 90 minutes today.
The prospect of penalty kicks as well later on. Plenty of time left in this one, and some time here. The Italians will have a corner kick. Haven't seen too much from that man yet in terms of attacking play. Favilli,
he's got possession of the ball in the wrong areas. Italy don't do a good enough job of creating for him. There's not many good balls in behind where he can run onto. There's not many good crosses coming into the area where he's getting on the end of those crosses. And here's a chance.
Panico with the delivery towards the far post, goes by everybody. Orsolini left it for Marchizza, and it'll be out of play for the goal kick. That should be the last action. Mele trying to get it down and play it forward quickly. And there is the half-time whistle. Plenty of good spells of possession for both sides, but ultimately not many goal-scoring chances, and we have no goals after 45 minutes. We're going to take a short break. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be back with much more from the Suwon World Cup Stadium.
Dynamic performance so you can own the road. Track-tuned handling so you can conquer corners. Aggressive styling so you can break away from everyone else. Experience the exhilaration of the bold Lexus IS. Experience amazing.
Hello Window Designs. They're tested from -40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit and subjected to wind-driven rain. They're even engineered to stop hurricane debris from penetrating your home. All with distinctive style that goes beyond the ordinary. Pella Windows and Doors. Perfectly beautiful.
So you love your game? So does he. You say ain't nobody gonna work harder? He said the same thing. You get an hour of training in before the sun even comes up, plenty of early risers out there. You got the gear, they got the gear. You got a secret weapon, this dude doesn't need one. See, this isn't just a game of inches, this is a game of ounces. And the next ounce you give might just be the one the other guy doesn't. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
We're proud to reveal that Jim Beam Black has been awarded the world's highest rated bourbon. Their words, not ours. Make history.
Breaking the record is just a start. That's how you leap from the edge of greatness and become legendary. History awaits. The U.S. Open, Thursday on FS1 and Fox. They're fierce. They're focused.
Quick shot!
And ready to take on the world. Carly Lloyd.
Lloyd scores!
Crystal Dunn.
Down for the goal!
Kristen Press.
Press! Shooting! Goal!
And the U.S. women's national team are back in action. Don't miss Norway, USA. Sunday at 1 Eastern on... Now.
Welcome back to the 2-1 World Cup Stadium. We'll take a look back at the match highlights from the first half. Wasn't too many of them. A cross coming in towards our far post. Panico really should do better though.
He should have done a lot better. He should have put this in the back of the net. Uruguay just caught at the back, and that's a great opportunity. Wonderful cross. Panico should have scored the opening goal.
40th minute, Santiago Vieira from distance, and should be an easy save for the goalkeeper, but made hard work of it.
It's almost more difficult to push this one back in towards his own goal, and he almost did so.
We're going to take a short break. When we return, we're going to preview the final between Venezuela and England coming up next.
He's the kind of man whose eye contact technically counts as a first date. If there's an elephant in the room, it's because he brought one. He is the most interesting man in the world.
Stay thirsty, mis amigos.
No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
And now during the Kia Summers on Us sales event, you won't have to make any payments for 5 months.
Like the sound of that.
Yeah, I just think everyone should get more out of their summer.
More summer, huh?
And you get 0% APR for up to 66 months!
Get 5 months of freedom from payments at the Kia Summers on Us sales event. 0 payments for 5 months. 0% APR on select Kias. Sale ends soon, so hurry in this weekend. Did I mention you get 5 months no payments?
Come on, please miss this. Please miss this.
Down to a free throw.
There you go, guys.
What is this?
That's a voodoo doll. You know, it's a big shot.
Voodoo doll.
All right, yeah. Okay, got his arm.
It's a miss, but oh man.
Put it back. Put it back.
What is that? His hip? His pelvis?
I'm just trying to
Well, then he at least needs to be symmetrical.
We could have a bit of a delay, but we'll be back with overtime.
When you've got nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Here's Pepto-Bismol.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
The real deal.
There's a guy who can vomit.
His swing's built for power, built for speed. He's only got one gear. The U.S. Open can make any man immortal. And like all great heroes,
The shot of his life.
there's nothing that'll stand in his way.
This is as good as it gets.
Dustin's ready. The U.S. Open on Fox and FS1.
Safe drivers who switch to Esurance could save money on car insurance. You know, the kind of driver who always buckles up, comes to a complete stop, and looks both ways no matter what. Because Esurance believes that's the kind of driver who deserves to save money on car insurance. In fact, safe drivers who switch from Geico to Esurance could save hundreds. So if you switch to Esurance, saving is a pretty safe bet. Auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
Graphic.
Welcome back to the Suwon World Cup Stadium. No goals as of yet in the third place playoff. Well, this is only the warm-up. Later on, it will be the final, and Sergio Cordova, one of the top players in the tournament, will be involved.
Well, it's great to have a final when you have some talented players involved, and both of these squads are absolutely stacked. Sergio Cordova being one of the standout players in the tournament, 4 goals in 6 matches. He impresses me with his strength, with his ability, and speaking of ability, how about Solanke on the England side? This guy steps up when it matters most. On the big stage, he seems to be the big-time player. He loves to score goals, also got 4 goals. He's a confident lad. He wants the ball. Those are 2 very dangerous players going head-to-head in the final tonight.
2 of many top-level players that will be involved. Later today, Venezuela taking on England, the U20 World Cup final, 5:50 a.m. Eastern, and the match on FS1. We're in the third place playoff and no goals after 45 minutes. We're going to take a short break, but we will be back with the second half kickoff.
Mobile Strike. Download and play now, free from the App Store.
Spider-Man isn't the only hero in town. Look, there's Pizza Man with Cheesy Bites Pizza.
Thanks.
And it's 28 poppable, cheese-filled bites baked into the crust. Spider-Man has Spidey sense. Pizza Man has Cheesy Bites Pizza. He climbs walls. He climbs stairs. Spider-Man has superhuman strength. Pizza Man has, yup, that super cheesy, crowd-pleasing Cheesy Bites Pizza. No one out-pizzas the Hut. See Spider-Man Homecoming in theaters July 7th.
You might not ever just stand there looking at it. You may never even sit in the back seat. Hey, but maybe you should.
Fox tomorrow. John Cena and his team of military elite are transforming people's lives.
Choose to win!
American Grit tomorrow.
If you're a man, then you can't afford to miss this announcement. Because by age 50, half of us are experiencing a growing prostate. And that can mean urinating more often, waking up at night for bathroom trips, dribbling or sudden urges, or problems with intimacy. When you call the number on your screen, you'll get a free bottle of Super Beta Prostate, America's #1 formula for prostate support. For you, this means less urges to urinate, more sleep with less interruptions, easier bladder emptying, and a healthier romantic life, guaranteed. You should know that half of men over 50 live with a growing prostate. But you can address these problems by calling for your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate.
Call right now to get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate while it's still free. Call 1-800-496-9315 or visit superbeta.com. 1-800-496-9315.
National Geographic.
The rebel isn't supposed to walk in the company of legends. The rebel's too brash, too fearless, too loud. But sometimes the rebel turns up the volume so high, you'd swear it sounds like victory. Ricky's ready. The U.S. Open on Fox and FS1. History awaits.
The 2017 Confederations Cup, which serves as a dress rehearsal for the next World Cup. The competition will feature a star-studded field. Chicharito in Mexico is set to represent CONCACAF. World champions Germany and Cristiano Ronaldo led Portugal also amongst the participants, when every single match live on Fox Sports starting Saturday, June 17th. There are the groups. Who do you fancy, Ian?
It's an interesting tournament. I'm actually intrigued to see how Mexico, Germany and the home nation Russia fare in this tournament. But always look for the South Americans. Chile have been unbelievable over the last couple of years.
They certainly have. Well, here, more fans arriving. Venezuela fans. We saw a lot of English jerseys in attendance. You can see Tottenham Hotspur represented in the background. It can be difficult for these teams in the third place playoff, knowing the fans are arriving to see a game after the game.
Yeah, they're turning up wondering what's going on right now. They don't know what this game means, and some of these players don't even want to be there, and you can see that from the first 45-minute performance. You know, the effort's there, the willingness to try and finish in third place is there, but it's never an easy game to play. The quality's been seriously lacking. A lot of changes to both lineups, but we've got second 45 minutes left, and they've got to give it all. To try and finish in third place would be an unbelievable achievement for either of these nations, so why not just go for it? 45 minutes, give it everything.
And that's how Uruguay aren't exiting, and the entrance that Venezuela are using to come into the stadium, because we know there's no love lost between those two squads.
You love that battle. If only they had met in the final.
I'll keep you updated on any changes as well. It's the Italians who kick off, starting the second half, attacking from left to right as we look. The best chance perhaps falling to them in the first 45 minutes. Giuseppe Panico with the effort, bringing the save from Mele. What do you want to see differently from both sides to show that attacking thrust in the final third?
In that final third, that's where it has to improve the most. I think it could be a mistake that decides this game. clearly is showing that it's only going to be a goal or two that will separate the two teams. So it might just be a mistake, a lack of concentration, or a piece of magic. If I'm looking at this Italian side, I want to see one of the best players step up and do the business. Orsolini, he's not even been in the game. He hasn't had much to do in the first 45 minutes. They haven't done a good enough job of getting him the ball. And also Favilli up top, they need to do a job of creating. Here come Uruguay.
Good run here from Oliveira. Good pullback. And the redirect goes well wide. It was a well-timed run into the box from Federico Valverde. Much more positive start from the Uruguayans.
Well, just as I was about to talk about the positives for Uruguay in the second half, he was the man I was about to choose. Valverde getting forward. They need to do a better job of getting their star-studded players in right positions on the field. He will want that back. That's a big opportunity for Uruguay. That should have been 1-0.
Federico Valverde, the Real Madrid Castilla man. 18 years of age. What a midfielder he is, and what a future he has at the club. Although Real Madrid never an easy side to break into the first team. Marquinhos. We see the possession count. Still relatively even. Uruguay just shading it.
It's actually been pretty good. On the back line, in midfield, it's been a scrappy battle. Passing's been good up to this point right here, and that final third is where the quality just disintegrates. That hasn't been the case throughout the course of the tournament. It's been an excellent tournament, a lot of great goals, a lot of talented players on display. But in a match like this, it's always difficult to get your players up for it, especially in that final third. Neither of these sides want to lose this game, which is why we're seeing a more defensive-minded game.
Does it affect, because in other tournaments you don't have the third place playoff game on the field immediately before a final, does that affect the player's psyche as well?
Realistically, unless it's the Olympics, why even play a third place game? No team wants to play in a third place matchup in a tournament. Nobody cares about finishing third in a tournament. Nobody remembers who finishes third in a tournament. I think unless it's the Olympic Games where there is a medal to play for, I think the World Cup all the way down through the levels would be best to just get rid of that third place matchup. But easier said than done when you've got fans paying money to go watch games and nations obviously earning money by playing games.
I guess the one player, Orsolini, will tell you he wanted another game to add to his goal tally. Solanke and Cordova just behind them on 4 goals apiece and 1 game left. Peñaranda, another very talented player. Hasn't been among the goals for Venezuela, but very good going forward too. Oliveira, we saw a penetrating run a couple of moments ago. This time loses out. A little bit of space in behind now for the Italians. Can they get the ball to Orsolini? It took an awfully long time. And Bentancur eventually gets back and makes the challenge illegally.
Well, that's a foul. It's a clear foul. Casata should be doing better with this ball, even though he's taken down and he's won a free kick for his side. He should be releasing that ball a lot quicker. Orsolini's starved. He's standing out wide in a great position. He wants possession of the ball. They need to get him the ball a lot quicker than they're doing.
2 players will be teammates next season, Casata and Bentancur. Pessina.
What a great tournament it's been. It really has been fantastic to watch. The coverage on Fox has been outstanding as well. Everyone's done a great job covering it. We really have done it justice, and I'm so looking forward to this final because I think we've got the 2 best teams.
Patella with the cross. Oh, very well defended. Orsolini, and you can see his eyes just light up as he was coming in on his left foot, and then took his eye off the ball and got away from him. Very unlike Ricardo Orsolini in that situation. That was almost a half chance.
He's looking to notch another one. Maybe a little selfish in that position. Why not?
Looking to join an illustrious list of former top scorers in the competition. Amaral, good delivery, looking for the little flick. Goes all the way through for Alessandro Plizzari. Italians almost losing possession. Petzela does well, very strong defensively. He's had a steady game at left back.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been really impressive. He's got a nice left foot.
Benico trying to play it further forward for Favilli. Favilli finding Petzela. The defender slips. Can Pizzella take advantage? The cross doesn't come, and Orsolini was in absolute acres of space.
Well, I don't think Pizzella actually noticed he was there. That is a disappointment. What a breakaway it was forward. Favilli did an excellent job on the left-hand side, and I think Pizzella gets fortunate, sort of rebounds off his own shin and breaks forward for him to make his own run onto it. But then he loses his composure at the vital moment when it matters most, with Orsolini completely free and exposed at the back post.
Romagna, Mandragora tries to head it forward. You look at the two left backs for Italy. Pizzella obviously the better defensively. DiMarco really good going forward. If you could find a way to get a mix of both, you might have the perfect modern day fullback.
I don't think you're too far away from Pizzella being that perfect fullback, because he is the type of player that likes to get forward. He does possess a wonderful left foot, and defensively he's a much better defender than DiMarco is. So I think he's got the full package, but Italy are just not doing a good enough job of inviting their fullbacks forward and getting them possession of the ball. In areas like this, they're closed down so quickly, there's nowhere to go. It's difficult to break down this Uruguay side, and I give Uruguay credit for that. In a third place matchup, they don't want to lose this game. They're well organised. They're wanting to slow the game down. They're happy to be done with this tournament, I think.
They opened up the tournament with 4 straight clean sheets. That's how good defensively they are.
Yeah. Solid side.
And you remember the first time they met, it took a real moment of magic from Amaral to separate the two teams.
Yeah, we had a missed penalty in that tournament, in that game as well. So, you know, it was a close matchup, and this is exactly the same type of affair, even though there's nothing at stake except for that third place recognition.
Good delivery in. Pizzella again. Didn't look comfortable coming off his line, rather snatched at it. Maybe didn't even get a touch. Play continues. Amaral getting it on his right foot now. Still he goes. Another player has that ability to commit 1, 2, 3 defenders. That time it was one defender too many.
Oh, it's a great run forward. I just wonder if it was on his left foot, had he not just pulled the trigger. There was a chance to do it. Just maybe took that one touch too many.
Kenobi, who's gone a little bit more central to start this second half. Amaral, a lot of bodies in there again. Now it is on his left foot. Looked like a moment he was going to go to goal. He does go for goal. That one's just wide. Amaral getting more and more influential, and that wasn't too far away.
Well, great individual brilliance. He gets the nutmeg, he gets the layback, and it's the only place he can put that ball. He's closed down very quickly indeed by Romagna. Nice left foot, not far away from finding that far corner at all. He started to turn it on in the second half. The talented wanded left foot, Amaral.
And it was around this stage in the semi-final where the Italians really started to drop off and allow the English to take control. And back by Bentancur. Vieira, Amaral. Confidence starting to flow for the Uruguayans. Vieira. Bentancur coming inside again. Tries that little flick pull through the legs of the defender. Does well to win it back. And Oliveira not allowing the counter-attack.
Well, it's slightly frustrating. Here's a look at the individual skill. Lovely 1-2. It's almost a scene off the training ground when you get that 1-2 with a striker in such close proximity and then be able to pull the trigger. Not a bad effort either.
How quickly he pulled the trigger as well when it was at his foot. Vieira. Canobia. Ball out wide, the cross in, all the way through. Are they eat? And this time it's a very good save from Pizzari. Andre Ince had pulled all the way to this left-hand side. Good contact. Equally good save. Uruguay starting to stamp their authority on this game. Amaral. Vieira. Towards the near post. Romagna has to get down, and it was Federico Valverde trying to get the cross in. And Alessandro Pizzari has looked a little nervy at times, but this was a big moment for him.
What an improvement in the second half Uruguay have done. This is a big opportunity. Good save from the goalkeeper. I don't think it was going in. It looked like Ardaiz was actually firing the ball into that far post, and it might not have crossed the line. Regardless, Plitari still has to make the save. Uruguay have been excellent in the second half. 10 minutes in, they're dominating it.
Federico Valverde. Whipped in delivery towards the near post. Amaral got his head to it. Couldn't redirect it on target. Another good opportunity.
Well, it's a tough one to redirect towards goal. He makes an excellent run to the near post. Italy completely exposed, but just slightly too much on the ball. And it's difficult because it's fired into him. Very tough technique to pull off at that near post. Most of the time, if it's slightly less on the ball than what you've seen just then, you can just flick it onto the back post. But when it's fired like that, it's very difficult to redirect.
And an interesting one here. Orsolini will score no more goals in the competition. He's played his part, but he's now replaced by Alfredo Bifulco. Ron was a late substitute last time out against England as well. Surprised to see Orsolini come off?
Not really. He's had a fantastic tournament. And we've got to give him a lot of credit for what he's done at this stage. It really has been excellent to watch, but he looked very tired today.
Cross comes in, numbers in the box here for Italy. And the offside flag has gone up. Alfredo Bifulco coming into this match had played a grand total of 12 minutes in the competition, so he'll enjoy a nice little run out here.
Yeah, and it's great to get some of the squad players some time on the field, Keith. Yes, there's an opportunity to go away with the golden boot. Every player wants to be able to achieve that. And a lot of players have played their part in the squad to get Italy to this stage.
You think he walks away with the golden boot?
I don't think he does. I think there'll be goals in the final tonight. I really do believe it. There's far too much talent on display, too many chances to be created. And there's players very close to nipping that golden boot away from him.
Amaral on his left foot, and well, that's the man you'd want a chance to fall to. This wouldn't come down quickly enough for him to get it back on target. Gianni Infantino watching on. Finals bring out the biggest. The head of FIFA will, I'm sure, be hoping there's goals in the final as well.
It doesn't matter what level, it's nice to see him there.
He'll flick through and defending again on that near side by Oliveira. Mandragora, Pessina.
Good from Italy. But again, look how well organised Uruguay are. It's almost like that chain effect. Left to right, every one of those players are linked together. They all know their job. It's a very, very tough Uruguay side to break down.
Nico goes back for Pizzella. Casata tries to flick that ball in behind. It might fall here. The Italians have numbers up. It's a cold effort. It's into the top corner. And it's being called back for offside. Giuseppe Panico falls to the ground. They couldn't have hit it any better. Unfortunately, it was from an offside position.
What a goal. What a great finish. This is a very close one, Keith. My initial reaction was that he was not offside. But clearly you can see there when the pass comes in, he is in an offside position. The linesman, the assistant referee, gets the correct decision right. Even though the Italian players disagree. What a goal.
Rolando Mandragora hasn't been shy about talking to a match referee all game long and having another word in his ear.
I actually like that about Mandragora. He's not frightened to speak with the referee. He's very vocal on the field. He does a lot of his talking with the ball at his feet. He's a wonderful player.
Pensani allows that one to run through. There is a match referee, Cesar Ramos. And we are going to see Uruguay's top scorer coming on, Nicolas de la Cruz. And he's going to replace a man who worked very hard, particularly defensively, Agustin Canobio.
Canobio was impressive. I thought in the first half he was probably one of the better Uruguay players. An opportunity to play it. It's nice to see him getting some minutes. De La Cruz coming onto the field at the right time now for Uruguay to potentially go ahead and seal the deal for Uruguay to finish third in this tournament. Nice time to bring him on.
Nicolas De La Cruz, of course, the struggles of missing that penalty. He scored one in regular time, but then missed in the shootout. But that devastating defeat to fellow South American side Venezuela in the semi-finals. A side they faced on a couple of occasions in qualifying as well. First time they met it was 0-0. And actually lost the second game by 3-0.
They also missed a penalty kick in this matchup in the group stage.
What are the odds on De La Cruz taking a penalty if it goes to that today?
Well, we know now he's got the fighting spirit for his national side, that's for sure, after what happened in the hotel. And maybe that was one of the reasons why he found himself out of the starting 11 today, but it's a nice opportunity for him to come on and finish the tournament in the right way, in the right manner. Uruguay have got the upper hand in this second half. He's not a bad player to be able to bring on the field.
Cassetta looking for it centrally, instead the ball playing forward. Favilli shows his strength, he's got options out wide, he goes alone, and it's a very good save from the goalkeeper. Mele with a strong hand to it. We haven't seen that enough from Favilli so far in this competition, but stinging the palms of the goalkeeper there, and then the break from Valverde. And that's the best we've seen from the Italian number 9 tonight.
Great strike, all his power behind the effort, strong hand from Mele to clear the danger. Good goalkeeping. It was moving in the air. It's the first real opportunity, as you mentioned, to really see the big man up top doing some damage.
Federico Valverde tries to play that little chip ball forward. All too easy defensively for Ricardo Marquiza. Roma man, just 19 years of age. We have talked a little bit about the final. We saw a preview at half-time on some of the big players. Who's your pick for the final?
Well, it's a great question, because both of these nations deserve to win this tournament. They've been absolutely fantastic to watch, entertaining, and worth the admission fee on all of these games. But I have to go for England. I think they're just on form. It's a great group of players.
There's Uruguay trying to secure a third spot. Amaral trying to get it on his left foot again, trying to barrel through 3 defenders. We've had some very good approach play in this second half, in particular Uruguay. That man's been at the centre of most of it.
However, though, Keith Costigan, I will give a lot of credit to what Venezuela have done in this tournament. And if they were to go on and win it, and they can go on and win it because they are that good, it wouldn't surprise me. They're a fantastic team. They're confident. You can see the team spirit in the camp, what it would mean for the nation. I mean, big round of applause for what they've achieved at this tournament for their country. Incredible.
De La Cruz goes down, looks around, wanted a free kick. The referee was unmoved.
How about you? Who are you going for?
Venezuela.
You're only saying that because I went England.
We have to provide balance here at Fox Sports, and trying to make sure we do it.
It's a great final. I mean, it's something really to look forward to. Two top teams, top players on display, goals, creation. The match should be very explosive. May the best team win.
Glenn Davis, Tony Meola will be along with you for that one. Valverde, nice little touch. Betancourt. Nice. Played in behind out of the hands. Can he keep it in play? Does well, and well, it looked like it was going out of play, but that run from Ardietz means he's won inside a corner kick. You'd like to see that from your forwards.
Yeah, it's nice to see that, but again, no real creation from Uruguay for Ardietz to actually do some damage in the right places on the field. He's running away from goal. It's a very strong pass in behind, and he did ever so well to get on the end of that pass and win his national side a corner kick.
Fourth corner kick. Federico Valverde, we saw him drill went in towards the near post last time out, finding Amaral. This time it's one towards the edge of the box and well read by the Italians. And then a long-range hit that went well over, but you can see the confidence of Federico Valverde, even in set-piece situations.
Yeah, it's almost one off the training ground. Credit to Italy, they read the script. Oliveira trying to take the strike from distance. He was off balance as he pulled the trigger. It was always drifting away from goal. But Uruguay have been very good in the second half.
Well, you see the shot count now 14-3 in favour of the South Americans. Unable to turn that dominance in terms of shots into goals.
This is the biggest problem with Italy, and it's the biggest problem I have with this Italian side. Individually, they're very talented. They're very, very good. But as a team, they don't create enough chances in the game. We witnessed it, obviously, against England. They tired. Against Zambia, not bad, but still there was more to come from that side.
Two of the goal scorers on the bench from that Zambia game. DeMarco came on and scored a wonderful free kick. Luca Vida with the late winner. And it's a lot of contact with Romagna.
Well, you know the game has changed when you start to witness players wearing mouth guards in the game. Gone are the days where players were getting stuck in, the challenges were allowed to just go at it. Nowadays it's almost becoming an uncontact sport. You just can't make any contact with players.
Some would tell you that's a central defender, you know who's ready to go to battle.
Well, I can tell you now, I wish I had a mouth guard, otherwise I'd probably still have all my teeth.
Filippo Romagna, another one of the Juve contingent.
He's been good as well. Nice in possession of the ball, but I still, from him in particular, think there's more to come. He can be a commanding figure along that back line. If you look at players who are playing in the Italian national side, you know, Bonucci's the one that stands out to me, who is that commanding figure. He's got that presence on the back line. He's an aggressive player defensively, but with possession of the ball at his feet, he's confident. I don't think that man right there is too happy, DeMarco. I think he wants to be on the field.
Enrico Avani, beaten finalists in the European Championships by France. They gained their revenge on that one earlier in the competition. That was a real upset. France were many people's favourites to go all the way, even without the likes of Kylian Mbappe. The Italians did a number on that game, and you could almost argue the energy expended in that game and the Zambian game cost the Italians later on.
Well, you could clearly see they were tiring as the match went on against England, and that's probably one of the reasons why they were just completely spent. They'd given everything. But I still think that there was more to come from this Italian side. I really do. I've been disappointed with what we've seen in the second half against England. Now they've made some changes in this third place. I'd like to see them do a better job in the second half, but Uruguay have been by far the better side. He looks like he's struggling, Romagna.
This would be a real blow defensively. Sixth appearance of the competition for him, and play continues. It's a substitute. Polko gets his cross in. It's a side netting for Villi, chasing that one down as well.
Millie didn't look too confident there coming out to claim the ball. Slightly nervous. Here's the cross going into the box. Just watch the goalkeeper as the ball goes up in the air. Just took his eye off it for a split second. Completely missed the ball.
Augustin Brogel, the defender who last touched it. So now Mele will have to defend a set piece. Giuseppe Panica, who did have the ball in the back of the net off a wonder finish. Unfortunately for him, he drifted into an offside position. Sata and Panica both over. Panica goes towards the near post. Well defended again by Uruguay. Curl delivery back in, and this time Santiago Mele looks very comfortable coming off his line. Reminder, this will go to penalties if it remains deadlocked after 90 minutes. Not seen too much of De La Cruz since he's come on. Amaral. Santa won it back well for the Italians. Now the cool ball in behind. A bit of space here to attack for Bifulco. Still has it. Vigna was the defender who went to ground. Casata overlapping. Casata gets his cross in. Wonderful play from the Juve midfielder. And Uruguay once again defended well. And we are going to see a change. Marcelo Saraki is going to come on. Excuse me, Mauro Coppolato. We've seen him play in the competition. He's an experienced defender, but we've seen him play alongside Romagna. Now he comes on to replace him. Ball played in behind on this right-hand side. Looping cross from Ser Nicola.
It's a nice spell from Italy. Starting to knock the ball around.
Another cross, and Rogel has to use that big powerful frame again to get in the way of the delivery. Bentancur. De La Cruz losing out. That's the positions we've seen him pick up and be very good going forward for the Uruguayans, but so far since he's come on, unable to really stamp his authority on the game. English free kick given away by Casanta.
Yeah, it's pointless. Casanta's had a good game for Italy today. Very good game indeed. Realised they'd lost the possession of the ball. Lucky not to pick up a yellow card there.
Ball goes out wide for Jose Luis Rodriguez. Valverde, Amaral, De La Cruz. This is better stuff, Arnaitz. But again, it's that final ball just at the edge of the box that Uruguay are lacking. They've had more of the chances. Can they turn one of those chances into a match-winning goal late on here?
We talked about the difference maker in this match, Keith, potentially being a mistake, and both teams are making a lot of mistakes at this moment in time.
Well, really, not the paciest of strikers, and that's not really a strong point out in those wide areas.
He's sort of that cumbersome big boy. But actually very good when he's got the ball at his feet for a big player. Hasn't had that opportunity in front of goal today that he so deserved.
Mazzella ghosting by two players, looking to get it back in behind. Does well to keep it in. Still it says in, and well, unfortunately for the Italian fullback, after all that hard work, it comes off him last, and Uruguay will have the goal kick. You did say 0-0 was one of your two options for the final score. Certainly looking that way. A reminder, coming up on June 17th, FIFA Confederations Cup. A dress rehearsal for next year's World Cup, which you can see on Fox. Action kicks off Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Russia taking on New Zealand. De La Cruz trying a little bit of trickery, but the Italians defending it well.
It wasn't very hard to predict that this could happen, Keith. The quality's just not been there. It's understandable. Both of these teams really frustrated at what happened in the semi-finals. Certainly been there. Both nations really wanting to finish in that third spot, but the quality is just lacked.
Casete trying to switch the play on that far side. Jose Luis Rodriguez come all the way in from right back, almost in a centre-back role. Amaral, very lively beginning to the second half, but since then he's been relatively quiet. Jose Luis Rodriguez. Bentancur now gets possession. Nicolas De La Cruz. He's got such good balance when he's in possession. Plays the ball out wide for Rodriguez. The cross towards the near post. Letari again doesn't look comfortable. De La Cruz from distance. Will it fall for Amaral? Trying to get it on his left foot. Two defenders in the way. Good block from the Italians. Vieira. Lovely ball in over the top. Rodriguez tries to get the cross in, and again the Italians defend resolutely. On the balance of play, they've had more of the chances. By far the better team for you, the Uruguayans?
You know, I think Uruguay, what they've done in the second half deserves a goal. Don't think they've been too far away from it, and I actually don't think they're too far away from finding it. Italy might do well to hang on to this now.
Long range hit, and Letari scrambling across his goal line again. Nicolas De La Cruz. A couple of yards wide in the end.
Well, that's what he brings, doesn't he? Something special. That's what this game needs. A little bit of magic to open the scoring. De La Cruz trying from distance. The ball's just drifting away from that near post. Letari caught off guard. He's very fortunate that this one doesn't sneak inside that post. Otherwise, he might have just been done.
Well, these two met in their opening group match. There was a goal right around this time that ended up being the winner. As you see, Joaquin Ardeitz is replaced by Juan Boselli. Boselli's fourth appearance in the competition. He is a forward as well, so it's a like-for-like switch.
I'm not sure what's worse, this match finishing 0-0 or losing the third place matchup on penalty kicks.
Well, that is going to happen to one of these sides if they can't find a breakthrough. Uruguay have had plenty of practice from the penalty spot. Amaral missing a penalty kick against Portugal. Rodriguez and De La Cruz, the two guilty parties in the semi-final against Venezuela. Favilli again shows his strength and shows his ability on the ball, but just lacking that breakaway pace. And eventually, you can see that one coming. The free kick goes against him.
It's great defending from Oliveira. The whole time Favilli's closing him down, making it difficult for him to play the ball away from danger, but excellent defending. He picks up the yellow card, Favilli, understandably so.
Alberico Vanni wasn't happy either. His coach, very animated on the touchline.
He just couldn't give it up, Favilli. He couldn't accept the fact that he'd given up possession of the ball and he wanted to fight for it back. There wasn't much in it there. And it is a rather harsh yellow card to pick up.
Well, Livorno striker, he's actually had a spell on loan at Juventus, so highly regarded in the Serie A circles. Valverde trying to go for goal from distance, and speculative effort. Actually got stuck in the stands. He's a confident young player and a man with a very bright future.
Well, he's a good 35 yards out here, Keith. You score from there, sometimes you get 2 goals.
I think you see the shots. That's why sometimes the stats don't really tell the true story if you're shooting from 35-40 yards, but 19-3 now in favour of the Uruguayans.
It's been a right battle. I think both of these teams have made it a battle. It hasn't been an entertaining affair. The match has been starved of opportunities in front of goal and clear chances. I think the best chance that we can go back to would have been Panico at the back post in the first half. He should have stuck that one away. Uruguay have been excellent in the second half and created a really good chance themselves. There's not been much between the sides, and I think penalty kicks probably would be the fairest decision to settle it.
Lovely bit of skill from Panico there to just get away from Jose Luis Rodriguez. Petzela, Panico, Petzela, and again it's that final ball.
I think it's a mental state. You know, had this been a final game, we wouldn't have seen this type of performance from either of these sides, because the concentration's there, the determination, the energy, the mentality is there. I think when you switch off, you realise that disappointment, the quality then will lack.
We're hoping that quality is on display in the final. It is coming up 5:50 a.m. Eastern on FS1. And as I've said before, if you haven't seen either of these teams play, well worth a watch. Glenn Davis, Tony Meola will be with you on the call. Long range here, Platani again scrambling. Valverde again from distance, and they just keep adding to that shot count.
You know, the strikes are coming in, but they're not on point. They're just that fraction off. If you don't shoot, you don't score, and you can't blame the players for doing that. In particular, that guy Valverde. He's had 4 or 5 attempts himself at goal. Every one of them just been a fraction off.
Of the two teams, is it Uruguay that have shown the most urgency in terms of trying to go and win this game though in the second half?
I think in the second half they've been by far the better side. Italy are tiring now and looking forward to penalty kicks if they can hold on.
Vieira, the link-up play from Boselli. De La Cruz, we know he's not afraid to go for goal from distance. Rodriguez, De La Cruz in a little bit of space. De La Cruz looked like he wanted to pull the trigger, was closed down defensively, and then he had too strong of a touch. It's a goal kick for the Italians.
Well, it's that decision making when it matters most, Keith. He does the right thing here. The first touch is excellent, but then that second touch takes him away from the defender, but out of play. It's just a lack of concentration at that vital moment. He knows it.
Well, if you're a fan of penalty shootouts, we're about 8 minutes or so away. I can't imagine the referee is going to want to add too much stoppage time onto a third place playoff.
Knowing our luck, the penalty kicks could end up 15-15. You never know.
Mandragora.
Nice.
Panico coming inside. Panico, cold effort towards the far post. Favilli was attacking it too, and it goes a couple of yards wide.
I think he's just slightly ahead of play. This is a great angle to look at it. He's not looking at the cross here, Panico. Favilli's slightly underneath the ball. He's not far away from making contact at all, the big striker. I actually think that Panico himself is going solo there. He's looking to try and hit the target.
He scored the winner against France, Giuseppe Panico. He also scored against Japan in the group stages. Long range hit. Another one of those from 35 or so yards from Rodrigo Amaral.
Well, I said a moment ago, if you score from there, you get 2. I think it's the wrong sport. If you score from there, you get 2. Is that rugby?
It is late.
It's been not for the lack of trying. I mean, Uruguay have been frustrated. They can't break down Italy. They can't create their chances inside that penalty box, and they've been limited to their strikes from distance. Therefore, that's why we're seeing a high count. There's 20 strikes, probably 19 of them outside the box, 17 of them off target.
But interestingly enough, Platani in goal, first appearance, comes to a penalty shootout. The Italians won't have their #1 goalkeeper. Uruguay do. We'll see if it comes down to that. Let's see if it even gets the penalties. Uruguay trying to come forward again. Excellent skill from Rodriguez. Not the greatest finished product there.
Well, he done everything right. How about this for skill? Absolutely beautiful. Great turn. The second time around he's under pressure. Quick feet. Gets a strike away as well. I think he's been watching you at your shooting practice there, Keith Costigan. Not a good effort at all in the end.
Another one of those players who's quietly had a very good tournament. 7th appearance. He and Oliveira so strong defensively in those fullback positions.
Very solid. I think defensively he's been probably one of the best defenders we've seen in this tournament. Very consistent performer, very aggressive, very strong.
This could be the 5th clean sheet of the tournament as well. Only conceding late in that Venezuela match in the semi-final to a wonder free kick. Fulco trying to go forward on. Oliveira, he's doing his defensive work well again. Sir Nicola. Valverde, strength from the fullback. He thought he was allowing the ball to go out of play for a throw into Uruguay. Casate thought differently. Match referee Cesar Ramos comes across, and the Italians will have the throw in. Fulco trying to get in behind Oliveira, and when he is beaten, he gets help defensively as well.
You can see how difficult it is to break down Uruguay. Italy have found it very tough to get their chances.
Favilli from distance on his left foot. It opened up for him. Curling effort, might have took a deflection as well.
I think it does take the slightest of contacts out of play. Favilli will win that corner kick.
Luca Vido is going to come on in replace of Francisco Quesada. Vido, remember, coming on against Zambia, probably should have been sent off. Stays on the field and then goes and scores the winner. And we have a similar entrance here. Favilli does well to keep this one in. Find the angle for the cross. Still Favilli. And once again Uruguay defending so well as a team and looking to break. Bentancur, De La Cruz out wide on this right hand side. He finds De La Cruz. De La Cruz, nice little ball in, numbers up on the far side, and well, Jose Luis Rodriguez absolutely furious that extra pass isn't played. Good save from the goalkeeper in the end, but Boselli might have been better served to find his teammate.
Great breakaway. De La Cruz does the right thing here by feeding the ball off, and Boselli picks up the ball with a great option. Rodriguez is completely exposed out wide left of him. He goes for a goal, and it's not a bad effort. It tests the goalkeeper. And I think when you look at the position and how exposed Italy were, Rodriguez was by far in a better position. Boselli should have found him.
Corner kick for Uruguay. De La Cruz towards an air post. Well defended again from the Italians. Fulco trying to start the counter-attack. Panico couldn't maintain possession, and De La Cruz is going to go down, and chance here laid on for a free kick delivery, perhaps from Rodrigo Amaral again. Replay showing that contact.
It's had a good impact since he's come onto the field. De La Cruz, you would expect that. You want to see him finish the tournament in fine manner.
Instead it's Valverde with the delivery. Right-footed in-swinger, but again the Italians show how well they can defend.
It's a great ball.
Another ball back in behind. Messina with the header back. It doesn't look like Alessandro Plizzari's in too much of a rush to play this one out.
I can't imagine the referee's going to want to play too much additional time at the end of this game. There hasn't been too many stoppages. Looks like Italy are happy to settle for penalty kicks.
That's very interesting in a third place playoff. You don't see it too often. Catenaccio, I believe they call it in Italy. Santiago Vieira, yellow carded in the first half. A bit late there on the challenge. As we enter the final minute of the 90. It's a game we have in competitions, the third place playoff. Most times it isn't the most memorable game when you're looking back. That's been the case so far here. Can we find a memorable moment though late on? Panico looking to find Luca Vido further forward.
Nice defending. Rogel comes out clear of the danger. There's a good opportunity on the breakaway for Italy to get him behind. Just couldn't find that final pass. Italians look tired in the second half. I think they'll be happy now with penalty kicks.
Topalara, Marchizza, Pezzella, Santiago Vieira drafted into the starting 11, and he's certainly worked hard defensively. We'll have a minimum of 2 additional minutes. Most of the fans now arriving inside the stadium awaiting the final. Fulco. Nicola, curl delivery towards the far post, and Jose Luis Rodriguez, strong header clear. Boselli, a bit of a touch on Boselli. Substitute wins the free kick from Mandragora. Imagine he'd be one of the candidates to take a penalty kick.
Well, there's a lot of good candidates still left out there on the field with talent to take penalty kicks. But as we both know, and as this tournament has already told us, the best players can miss penalty kicks. It's very tough indeed. Uruguay certainly haven't been lucky from the spot. Nice.
De La Cruz. Rodriguez in a very advanced position. Back on his left foot. Wonderful save from the goalkeeper. I've been critical on a couple of occasions from Plitari and his positional play, but on that occasion he got it spot on.
Yeah, it's a great save from Plitari. It's also a great time to make that save. It looks like it is going to penalty kicks, and to come up with a save like this will take confidence into that penalty kick shootout. That is a big time save. Uruguay almost winning it at the death. Nice strike as well.
Jose Luis Rodriguez, 20 years of age, and again showing he's not just good defensively, he can come forward as well.
I can't believe how frequently he's got forward in the second half. I mean, this is a guy that's played every minute. Still wants to get forward.
Good skill from Mandragora, finding Luca Vida. Viña comes across and makes the challenge. We've had the 2 additional minutes. Cesar Ramos. All attention will go to him now. Mandragora from distance. Viciously curling and dipping effort. And all of a sudden the game is coming to life.
Oh, why not go for it? We're running out of time. He strikes from distance. It's always drifting away from that far post, but it's a beautiful attempt. There's the ability from Mandragora, one of the best players in the tournament.
Goes just wide. We have the final whistle. We're going to take a short break. Make sure you stay with us. When we return, we're going to have penalty kicks to decide the winner of this third place playoff match.
At Joseph A. Bank, buy one, get one free and get all your wardrobe essentials. Also, buy one, get one 50% off on shoes. Plus, traveler suits are $249. And all signature sport coats and blazers are just $199. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
These people are real BK chicken sandwich haters.
The meat is very juicy, very tasty. I don't remember a Burger King chicken sandwich tasting as good.
Try the classic crispy chicken or the new barbecue bacon. Only at Burger King.
Cindy, you don't even have a dress.
You're not going anywhere in those rags.
Together and what have you got?
Cindy?
Introducing an all-new crossover, Toyota CHR. Toyota, let's go places.
We're proud to reveal that Jim Beam Black has been awarded the world's highest rated bourbon. Their words, not ours. Make history.
I don't want to make it tough. I just want to tell you that I've had enough. It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye.
Five calories, no artificial sweeteners, and taste amazing. Bye.
Spider-Man is the only hero in town. There's Pizza Man with Cheesy Bites Pizza. He has superhuman strength. He has that crowd-pleasing Cheesy Bites Pizza and his 28 poppable cheese-filled bites. No one out-pizzas the Hut. See Spider-Man Homecoming in theaters July 7th.
The real deal.
There's a guy who can bomb it.
His swing's built for power, built for speed. He's only got one gear. The U.S. Open can make any man immortal. And like all great heroes,
the shot of his life.
There's nothing that'll stand in his way.
This is as good as it gets.
Dustin's ready. The U.S. Open on Fox and FS1.
Todos tenemos pasiones que nos motivan.
que nos mantienen enfocados y nos dan satisfacciones. Pero ¿qué pasa si de pronto nuestra vida queda interrumpida debido a una lesión? ¿Qué hacer entonces? Hay una solución. El doctor Hernández de North Bergen le puede ayudar a usted a curar su lesión y conseguir un tratamiento especializado para que usted logre una completa recuperación.
Hola, soy el doctor Alex Hernández. Si usted ha sufrido una lesión deportiva, consulte a mi oficina para que regreses al deporte que tú amas.
Now.
Welcome back to the Suwon World Cup Stadium. A couple of hours it'll be the scene for the World Cup final, but right now we're going to start the penalty kicks for the third place playoff match, and we're going to go back to this ABBA penalty kick format. It's changed for this tournament. Are you a fan?
No.
There you have it.
I'm not a fan. You know, I like the traditional penalty kick. You win the toss, you go first. You get to choose to go first or second. The ABBA format is very difficult. It's very confusing for the supporters to even keep track of this. So for me, I think for the viewer in particular, it's a waste of time.
And there we see third penalty kick tournament for Uruguay in this competition. They've won one, they've lost one. Santiago Mele, 3 penalty saves against Portugal. But it was De La Cruz and Rodriguez who missed against Venezuela.
Well, let's hope we get a goal now through penalty kicks and actually find a winner through the first 5. Some tired legs out there. Now it's down to mental strength. I think the goalkeepers will play a big role now in penalty kicks.
You go with your best foot forward, and we are going to see Valverde, it looks like, go first for Uruguay against Alessandro Plizzari.
Keith, I just think that save he made going into the penalty kick shootout will be vital for him, Plizzari. Such confidence now.
Federico Valverde with Real Madrid, Alessandro Plizzari with AC Milan. You have to say, looking at the body language of Valverde, he doesn't look too nervous.
I think when you sign a contract with Real Madrid, nerves are a thing of the past. Such a composed player, but I will say this, he's had 5 or 6 attempts from outside the box today, and more often than not he's put it wide of frame.
We'll see what he can do here. Valverde, not one of the culprits in the last round. Steps up and dispatches it brilliantly. And I don't think there was any doubt in his mind that was going to be the outcome.
I don't think there was a doubt in many people's mind when he stepped up to take that first penalty kick that he was going to put it in the corner in emphatic fashion. Great penalty kick. Such confidence, he knew exactly what he wanted to do with the ball. The goalkeeper Plizzari is trying to put him off by pointing to the other corner. What a great penalty kick that was.
He opened up against Portugal with a penalty as well and dispatched that brilliantly too. It's going to be the substitute, Luca Vido, up against Santiago Mele. Vido opens up. Wasn't as well hit as the Valverde penalty, but it's the same outcome and it's 1-1.
Well, it's a composed penalty, got one against Zambia. How about that for composure? It's always an unusual run-up when you see players starting behind the ball and then drifting away before coming back to strike it. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Got that cheeky little smile on his face as well. He enjoyed it.
A little bit of relief as well, I'm sure. And here we see the change to the format. The Italians will now go again. It's going to be the centre-back, Ricardo Marchizza. Left-footed hit, right in the corner precision finish, and the Italians hold their nerve.
Well, this is a great penalty kick. It's good composure from the centre-back. He had a good game today. Rose the ball confidently into the corner. Goalkeeper guesses the right way, but it's struck perfectly. There's no chance of the goalkeeper getting a hand to that unless he goes earlier. Such composure from Marquita.
Well, the last two shootouts, at this stage it was Rodriguez going. He missed last time out against Venezuela, so now it is going to be Rodrigo Amaral. He missed against Portugal.
Well, the left foot's not been firing on all cylinders today, but I put my money on him.
And he's missed. It's a relatively easy save in the end. You would have lost your money, Ian.
I didn't get to finish my sentence. I would have put my money on him missing. What a bad penalty kick. It hasn't been his day today. He's got such a beautiful left foot, but that is one of the worst penalty kicks I've seen in this tournament. Far too close to the goalkeeper. No power behind the strike. Such disappointment from such a talented left-footed player.
Advantage Italy. Uruguay will shoot again, but Plizzari got across quickly. He won't have many easier penalty saves than that one. Uruguay go again. He has another one. Boselli, same side, same result. Two big saves from the keeper.
Massive save. Fantastic confidence from Plizzari. This time it's an even better save. He guesses early, and it's a strong hand. And even though this strike is a little firmer, I still think it's not struck well enough. Boselli should be doing a lot better. It's too close to the goalkeeper, but full credit to Plizzari. He's still got to do the business. He guesses the right way, gets down early, firm hand, great save.
Well, Italy, if they hold a serve here for the two penalties, will win. Mandragora steps up, again right in the bottom corner. Ice cool penalty from the skipper, and he celebrates. They're almost home.
Great penalty.